I miss working our minister in parliament as well.
I got a chance to debate with Lee Kuan Yew and I did not lose.
Hi, I'm Biwa.
Hello, Inderjit here.
And welcome to Majulah Presents tea session.
Well, we are here today to share our experience in politics, which both of us did for many years.
And answer the burning question. MP work hard or not?
So Biwa,
Yes.
tell us a bit about your experience in the tea session before you were selected.
That was in 2006.
Mine was in 1991,
Wow, that long ago.
long time
Wow.
ago, after the first 1991 elections were over.
All right.
And MP Abdullah Tamudi asked me, Inderjit, I want to send you for tea party. Well, I say, why not? I've done my community service, I can
Tea
do it.
party? So you thought it's dancing party?
No, idea. So when I went down there, there were 5 of us and one minister, 2 MPs. Many of them were saying how good the government policies were. I went on the attack of government policies and I say some of the policies were no good.
They asked me my opinion on WTO. So I whacked them also lah.
Okay.
You all talk about WTO. America never follow, right? Only we all Singapore. So you know what's the phrase that I use? I say you all amotik lah. Be amotik ko katik lah. Everything follow.
So for me, I found issue with the COE policy lah. And I found that until today it's not working out. So, and interestingly, when I went for my final session with the whole CEC, Lee Kuan Yew was there, Goh Chok Tong and Lee Seng Loong. Lee Seng Loong asked me the question, so Inderjit, can you give me your suggestion on a better COE policy? In this interview, I can't give you now, but I'll go back and I'll send you my proposal. So I did not answer, I went back and I sent him a proposal on what can be changed. Then after that, Lee Kuan Yew asked the final set of questions. That was very good. After that session, I said, whether PAP selects me or not, I don't care. I'm so happy I got a chance to debate with Lee Kuan Yew and I did not lose.
I remember the last one, together with Mr. Lee Kuan Yew also. And I remember what I told him. If you want me, I will give you 101%. But bear in mind, I am not a yes man. So that is what happened. And they took us in, right?
Yeah,
so it shows that, well, we are not yes men.
Yeah, by the way, maybe you all want to know, the person who recommended Biwa for the tea party was me. She was helping me. But we have known each other since 1981 in NTI at that time, now NTU. And I invited her to come and serve as a grassroots leader in Kebun Baru.
Yeah.
So she spent many years on the ground with me, and I think displayed good leadership. And I was right, not wrong. She did a great job in Parliament.
Oh, thank you. Because I have a good mentor. In fact, I have been active in the civil and structural engineering alumni. I was the president and have been doing fundraising to help those needy students. So when Mr. Inderjit Singh, when you asked me whether I would like to enter politics or not, then I thought, wow, that is a bigger platform. I can do much more. Not just for civil engineering undergrads, but perhaps for Singaporeans and also to be involved in the policy making. Then why not?
I think the PAP has very clearly shown the kind of people they attract to politics. I think the most important factor is that you must have great integrity.
Yep.
And then you must be very passionate, not about your own self, but about the people that you're going to serve, about the country. And so these are the kind of things, integrity and passion. Do it not for yourself, but do it for others. So I think this GE is a very interesting GE. And it is the reason being that the quality of candidates on all sides. PAP had always got good candidates, but the opposition, alternative parties have got also good candidates. So
You mean good in terms of paper qualification?
Yes, of course. Yeah. And the way they present themselves and so on. So these are all there, and I think these are things that makes it very difficult for us to judge. I expected some of these things to come out, like the recent religious issue with one of the parties, the mistake made by the SDP candidate. These are the things that always come out in the heat of the thing. How they recover and how they do this will make a difference.
For me, actually, I have been walking the ground a lot, even before the nomination day, weeks before the nomination day, because I am walking the ground with the new candidates in Nisun GRC. And that is why I thought until now I have sore throat. I need the coconut water. Whenever I come to this coffee shop, the residents come to us because they say that Hua Jie, long time no see. So actually it was very warm, very warm.
So the candidate here is very lucky because DY is coming to the ground. So I think the goodwill that we have earned over the years has been useful. People trust us. So it's
Yeah.
good that you are doing this to help the next candidate.
In fact, the candidate in Nee Soon South was my grassroots leader for 15 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so long time. So definitely I would like to come out to support her. And the one in Nee Soon Central, Go Han Yen, I'll be working with her as well.
So we already halfway through, you have seen the ground.
Mm,
What are your observations now and what do you think should voters be focusing on? Halfway already.
Actually, I would like to urge voters to look at both sets of candidates and then ask more opposition, less key experienced ministers. Will that be good for Singapore? I think this is a question that people, the voters, need to concentrate on it and think very carefully. It is not just we want opposition voice. What I'm more concerned is, in a turbulent world, we need to have more key experienced ministers in the government. We need to have a strong government.
Right now, I think voters should focus on what can each of the party actually do to solve the problems that worry them a lot. Cost of living and housing. So far, most of the party, including the PAP, have got good slogans. I will solve the housing problem. I will take care of the cost of living problem. I think voters should ask their candidates on exactly what are you going to do. Of all candidates, PAP or opposition,
Yeah.
what are you going to do to be able to solve this problem? And I think this is something that's very important. So I think people have to decide what exactly do they want. If let's say they want to be able for us to be able to solve the future problem. So it's a difficult choice simply because the quality of candidates everywhere are good. They speak very well, but whether they can do or cannot do, who has proven themselves, I think is more important.
I think have to question them how to do, because you want to abolish, you want to reduce GST, who don't know how to say? To criticize is always very easy. We always say that 講為免判你嘛, but how do you do it? If you take away this part of income, where do you get the income from? In my view, if we have more oppositions in parliament, sometimes we need to change our policy or take certain action very fast. Just like how we handle COVID. We make a decision, very decisive one, and move ahead very fast. So that is why we always say that we need to have our key experienced ministers to be around to form the government, to face the world, because lots of challenges. The experience to understand the complex issues is very important.
I think one of the things that voters should assess is there are very good PAP MPs who are probably more constructive than the opposition during my time, at least I saw.
We ask harder questions.
question than them.
We always whack the ministers with
Correct. Yeah. So
true questions.
So I would say that what is important right now also is not just for having just opposing parties in parliament, but to have opposing voices. And opposing voices can come from the party also.
Yeah.
And I urge our PAP candidates and our PAP MPs, speak your mind. Don't be a yes man. I think they can do that, then Singaporeans will feel I don't need to have any other position. Then we can keep the efficiency and we can give. But let's say they don't speak their mind and they don't challenge some of these policies, voters will think that I need to have opposition. So I think both hands to clap. You don't want to lose efficiency by stifling the government, but our own MPs also need to speak their mind. Then I think we'll solve this problem. On May 4th, when the results are out and the new government is formed, what will be the impact on the people's life in Singapore?
I hope that all those who are voted in will really start to work hard to look at all those issues that the residents brought up, to solve their problems. And that is not the end, that is the beginning of the term. So everybody will have to start to work hard.
Beginning of the hard work.
Yeah, beginning of the hard work, correct. The 9-day campaigning is hard, but the life after that is even harder. So need to work hard.
Yeah, I think the emotions are running high,
Yeah.
especially the last few days. And I think it will run high all the way to the end. at the end of the day, whoever gets elected, PAP or opposition, I hope that they all come back and then work as one team. Everyone with a role to be constructive about what needs to be done for the future of Singapore. I of course hope that we have a strong government that can push on, and I hope that we have opposing voice, whether from the PAP or from the opposition, who can also challenge, because there's no monopoly of ideas. At the end of the day, they should see themselves as a team, whichever party they come from, and focus on what is good for Singapore, what is good for Singaporeans, and what is good for their residents.
That is only hope lah. You look at last 5 years, some of the debate in the parliament really a waste of time. I really hope that we will spend more time tackling the issues that we are facing outside. Hi, welcome back. And now we have new drink, barley water, because of throat lah. Now quick fire. What's one thing you don't miss about politics?
I spent so much of time in the constituency, whether it was in the evenings or weekends, that I missed out on the family. So the long hours is something that I don't miss. Some candidates I hear say that, MPs must be full-time. We can do both full-time jobs, our own job and this, but it takes away you from your family. But I think that's a sacrifice you need if you want to serve your country.
Yes, yes.
And what about what you miss in politics, the biggest thing that you miss?
I miss a lot of things. But the one I miss the most are the residents in South. They are always like my family members. Whenever I come here, I feel so happy.
I can see all of them still recognize you.
That is something that I miss the most. Of course, I miss working our minister in parliament as well.
So, you say you miss your residents. What do you think your residents remember you for?
My residents always remember that I'm someone who is very straight talker. They always say that 敢说, 敢做. That means when I say I want to do, I will do. When I think that it is something for me to talk about in parliament, I will talk about, I'll bring up whether ministers like it or not, whether I step on their toe or not, I will still bring up, because that is the duty of MP, to bring up residents' whatever issues, problems. I think many of our residents here still remember how I asked very difficult questions to the ministers. I say, 是不是甜品比较好吃啊？冰淇淋比较好吃啊？中药店为什么不可以开？ I think a lot of residents remember that. They say that is 经典。Okay, so Inderjit, which fellow politician do you have the fondest memories of from your time in parliament?
Okay, I was very lucky because when I went into parliament, our first Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, was still in parliament. And so he did spend a lot of time with all of us, the newly elected MPs and ministers, to coach us. So we had a lot of closed door session meetings with him and so on. And I learned a lot from him. And one thing I remember clearly, because of the fiery speeches that I made and some of our MPs made, he told us, don't be afraid.
Yep.
Go ahead and ask this tough question. It's the minister's duty to answer you.
Yes.
So that is a principle I followed throughout my 20 years in parliament.
Yeah. So you see, we all PAP MPs ask very hard questions also. Give the ministers hard time also.
So next one for you, what is the one word you would use to describe your time in politics?
I would say that it is very fulfilling. Whenever residents have problem, I take it that is my problem, and if I manage to solve the problem, I feel very happy. So I give my emails to residents, I receive emails, and I will try to solve the problems one by one. Yep. And I make it a point to reply residents' email between 24 hours. So all those government agencies may not like me very much because I want quick answer. But that is all for residents lah. Inderjit, many people take you as their guru. I know that you also lecture in NTU, right? And what is one piece of life advice you will give?
The most important advice I want to give is that there's no problem in the world that cannot be solved. When you come across any difficulty, any problem, find a way out of it. And don't be afraid to be a contrarian. Something may not work today, but you come up with a solution that may work tomorrow. Don't give up. So I say there is no problem in the world that cannot be solved. And this is a thought of all entrepreneurs.
Yes.
No problem, I can solve it.
Never say die.
Never say die.
Same as my attitude. Never say die. one time ask question in parliament, never get it. Second time ask again, third time ask again, fourth time ask again until I get the lift at Khatib overhead bridge. Never say die.
Yeah. So I did the same. In fact, I shared this experience when HDB gave us lift upgrading program. They had come out with lifts with up-down arrows but without numbers which floor it is in.
Oh.
And it was a
dear.
terrible thing. But they refused to change because they say it saves money. But I was the town council chairman for Ang Mo Kio. I wrote to the Minister for National Development, Mabautan, and I say, I'm a chairman of Ang Mo Kio Town. I reject all town council upgrading, lift upgrading in Ang Mo Kio GRC. And he got worked up. And the answer I got from someone who's a minister today, I won't name him, oh, you know, it's going to cost us a lot more money if you put the arrow. And I told the minister, I don't believe it. And I was very lucky. I copied the Prime Minister Lee Seng Dung on that one. And Prime Minister agreed. He said, yeah, I also don't believe it. It cannot cost so much.
Yes.
So fought. And on that year, on Boxing Day after Christmas, I got a call from the ministry. We'll change all the lists with up-down numbers, and even those that have been done, they will go and redo everything. So you never give up. You must fight. The minister will say, cannot be done. There's no problem that cannot be solved. So I went on and...
Actually, we use logic, right? We know what the resident want. When MP walk the ground, we will know what the resident want, and we will speak up on behalf of residents. Yeah.
So, one piece of advice for first-time voters, very important because they're going to go to the poll on May 3rd. What advice would you give to the first-time voters?
I would like the first-time voters to vote, see which is the party that can help their generation and their future generation. Don't be too emotional about it. Don't be just because you go to a rally, you listen to a rally speech, somebody who can speak very well but didn't give you a very good solution, just whack, and then you give the vote. You have to weigh which is the party that can bring Singapore forward, which is a party that can give you future. Not just your generation, but your next generation. That is my advice to the first-time voter.
Good advice. Think long-term. Don't think short-term. Okay, what about if some young voters say, but why don't we just try? And opposing voice, maybe you'll make Singapore better. What would you say to them?
The moment you try, and then if it doesn't work out, Singapore being such a small country without much resources, I think the country will be gone. We need to do something that we are very sure it will work for us.
Voters need to think about who can be constructive and who could be destructive.
Yes.
They have to make this judgment on the day they put their vote down. So there are all sorts of candidates, so please make that judgment. Who will be good for Singapore's future?
Thank you for joining us.
At the Majulah Presents tea session.
One more time. Thank you for joining us.
Majulah Presents tea session.
This is something for you to think about in this GE.
Vote wisely on May 3rd. Let's hope that we can vote for the right people who can create a bright future for us.
Yeah.
Bye.